So welcome to Be the Voice. This is a place where we get to feature best practices from thought leaders in the B Corp community. And the focus of each show is to focus on topics that fall into three categories. People. How do you unify people behind your organization's mission and vision? Processes. So it's everything to do with optimizing the processes connected to certification or recertification. And finally, challenges. How do we overcome the many challenges that are headed our way? So in each episode, we're going to start with a short micro training, followed by a long amount of audience engagement. And today, I'm thrilled to welcome Katie Taylor to the stage. Katie is a vice president from Beneficial State Bank. It's a B Corp based in Oakland. And Katie also serves as a board member for B Local Bay Area. And she guides our team with her vision for community engagement. One of her superpowers is bringing community together to teach, to engage, and more importantly, to celebrate. And today, you can count on her to share with you how to leverage B Corp Month to engage your team. So, Katie, I'd love to ask you this question. Why are you so excited about B Corp Month?
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for B Corp Month because it is that opportunity for us to celebrate as a movement inside of our organizations and with one another. So it's my favorite time of year. I'm going to share a little bit with you about our evolution since 2022 around B Corp Month and internal engagement, since our employees are such an important champion for the work that we do. In my first B Corp Month at Beneficial State Bank in 2022, our activities were primarily focused externally, and our hope was that our employees would engage on social media, at events, and we found that didn't work for the majority of our team. Some folks did engage, and those were the people that were already connected to the B Corp movement and already showing up in these spaces. So over the last 3 years, we've adapted our planning and approach to incrementally improve and incorporate our team members' experience, knowing that their passion for our mission is what has the biggest impact on our business and in our communities. Everything I'm about to share is the result of me absolutely face planting in my first year and then listening to my colleagues' feedback, and this is still a work in progress. We have incorporated basically 3 strategies to build more awareness of B Corps within our organization and to create opportunities for connection across our 3-state footprint in California, Oregon, and Washington. The first thing is that we plan together. So Beneficial State Bank has roughly 250-ish employees, and I would say we have about 7 to 10 people that I would consider to be our B Corp champions. Those are the folks that serve on B Local boards, they attend B Corp events, and they're really great at sharing our B Corp story and our place in the B Corp movement. Within our organization, we also have experts in communication and training and development. So we brought together a group of folks to participate in planning what our internal engagement strategies should be. This also helps us get the work done so we can divide it up, which makes it a little bit easier than if just one person's trying to do it all themselves. The second thing that we do is we try and make all of the opportunities accessible and available. So for 2025, we have a multi-layered plan with different levels of engagement. We're still fine-tuning our approach here. So if you have ideas about what else we should add or any best practices that you found in your work, I'd love to hear about them. But here's sort of a sampling of what we've got planned. An organization-wide email from one of our senior leaders announcing B Corp Month and sharing the planned activities for our team, sharing links to any external communication internally so that people who like to be on those channels can do so without having to search for the post or have to look up that information. We have a self-paced training about B Corps and Beneficial State Bank's role in the B Corp movement that everybody can engage with as their time allows. We're also planning, we've been calling it internally a lunch and learn session, but it's scheduled for 8 a.m. So however you would call that, which we scheduled about 4 to 6 weeks in advance with a variety of different presenters who have different expertise about the B Corp movement overall and our role. we're going to share about our most recent recertification performance, how people can get involved in the movement, and trying to draw the connection to B Corp certification as one of the ways we bring our mission and our values to life. And we're also going to have a small B Corp display and a B Corp gift for our clients and our team, hopefully to encourage our employees to share about B Corp Month as they're engaging with clients and partners and community members in March. Our expectation is not that everyone will participate in everything. There's a lot going on all the time, but our goal is that everybody will engage where it makes sense for their time, priorities, role, responsibilities, and their level of interest. And the third strategy we're incorporating is asking for feedback. Fairly often we use short surveys to get feedback about what resonated and what's needed for more folks to be able to participate. For example, we have retail staff who can't easily step away during business hours, so scheduling live trainings at the top of the day so that they're able to participate as their interest and time and other priorities allow. And we will try and incorporate as much feedback as we can into the following year's plan, investing more effort in the things that generated more engagement and adjusting or pivoting away from the activities that didn't work. And what we have built for 2025 is what we think will work for our team, but every organization is different. So I would invite you to think about what has worked for your team in the past, what your team members have asked for or mentioned. Think about opportunities to incorporate B Corp Month into your internal communications. The possibilities for B Corp Month really seem endless, and that can be overwhelming. So my suggestion is pick one thing, do that thing, then adjust the following year, learning and fine-tuning as you go. Fantastic. So I'm happy to answer questions, but I'm actually most interested in hearing from folks about how your B Corp identity shows up in your internal engagements, what you have planned, what's worked for you, and what you want to try. So I'll stop talking and let other people jump in. Do either of you have any perspective or experience or anything to share about how B Corp shows up for you in your work, or anything that any best practices that you all have experienced?
There
Hi
we
there.
go. We got
Sorry.
Hey, how are
Daniel.
you?
Good. Sorry, I was just running around trying to find somewhere where I could contribute and also hear everybody. So I'm Dan Post Jacobs. I'm the sustainability coordinator for Urban Remedy. And frankly, what we're trying to do right now is really redefine how we embed B Corp principles into our day-to-day activities. How to bring it from more than just a certification into how we show up day to day. And that's a struggle that we're going through at the moment. It's a big part of why I wanted to sign into this webinar, just to sort of crowdsource the wisdom of everyone that we have here in the Bay. There are so many great organizations that we can learn from, but it is difficult at the moment to take it beyond just marks for compliance and ways to appease investors and bring it into something that top to bottom is something that we embody, especially for a multilingual workforce where sometimes programming or some of the stuff that we'll send out may not be received by everyone because it's in a different language. So that's a challenge that we're struggling with right now. But it's something that we're excited to work on and sort of grow towards in the next few months.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just resonating so strongly with everything you just shared, that I think especially because I think really the identity of so many B Corps is that feeling that we want to strive for more and always be pushing for the next thing. And it's easy to see all the places where we're not yet doing all the things we want to do. And that language barrier is so significant. You can really see it in the different ways that B Lab shows up in different cultural contexts too. The way that they describe their work isn't just, copy and paste from English necessarily, because there's all those cultural aspects to consider. So thanks for sharing. Good luck in that process. I know it's a lot.
Thank you very much. Yeah, glad to be part of such a great community.
Daniel, thanks for joining us. Katie, what I'm curious about is there's already things on the calendar. So are there things that you're paying attention to here in the Bay Area where you would recommend go check this out?
Yeah, I'm one of the things we just posted about with Be Local Bay Area is asking folks to share any activities they have planned. And so if you didn't see that LinkedIn post, I think it might be the top one on our page. So if you have anything, you can comment there, you can reach out to our team. What we're hoping to do is amplify some of those activities. And if there are public events, share those out so that other B Corp folks can show up in those spaces. And then I am sure, as many people do, I'm just constantly following B Corp pages on LinkedIn and trying to stay in tune with what everybody's announcing and follow along there, because there's so many. I'm seeing more and more this year best practice sharing going on, not just in the Bay Area, but really across US and Canada, about what folks have going on, how they're adapting, how they're thinking about things, particularly around the new standards and different activities. So I'm curious where others maybe, where your ears are pointed, so I can point mine in the same direction.
Dan, I have a question for you. Have you attended any of the Bay Area events for Be Local Bay Area?
So I was actually really heartbroken. I had to miss the event at Everyman Jack
Oh
beginning of
no.
the month. I was all ready to show up back in December when it was initially scheduled. Understandably, I had to be moved. I get it. But I was in Southeast Asia for the second half of January, and when I saw the announcement that it was going to be rescheduled for early 2025, I knew in my heart that it would be while I was away. And sure enough, it was the day before I got back.
Oh no, worst timing.
Yeah, I know, terrible timing. I was really looking forward to getting up there. I heard it's a beautiful location as well, and just meeting the new board and sort of introducing Urban Remedy as a part of Be Local Bay Area.
I have a suspicion that Everyman Jack might host something else in the future, so stay tuned. They have a beautiful office and it is a really nice view.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. But Anthony, to answer your question, no, unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to attend anything yet.
Well, stay tuned. We plan to have a lot of these things. And Katie, for those who are watching this on replay, can you share with those viewers what are these local events that we put on?
Yeah, we are also constantly in a space of listening and adapting, so things may change, but we have last year launched our new website. And so there is right on the homepage, about halfway down, an events calendar, so you can see anything that's scheduled coming up there. And we've done a few different types of events. We've done some networking events, like the event at Everyman Jack, where there is time for everybody to connect. We get to see another B Corp in action and hear from them and get to experience their work a little bit. We've also had last year, Tarani hosted a tour of their taste factory, which is really exciting and cool, and shared about their best practices around people and culture, which is a really nice way to learn from what folks are doing that may not be visible or necessarily the external part of their brand. Hanson Bridget hosted, it was half mixer, half education session about some regulatory changes that are coming up that will impact a lot of B Corp. So getting to hear from their wisdom and the expertise that they bring into their work every day. And then we've also had just some informal meetups where folks come, hang out, grab a drink, get to know other folks who are in the same sort of micro region, I guess we could say. So San Francisco, East Bay, South Bay, getting to spread out a little bit so people don't have quite as much of a trek to get to all the places. So if you have ideas for events or you'd like to host one, please reach out to us. It's a nice opportunity to get in front of a bunch of Bay Area B Corps, and we really value the partnership as a volunteer-run organization. So it helps us make more of those connection opportunities happen.
And another question, Katie, and Dan, I'll go to you. Dan, have you ever attended a formal conference like the Champions Retreat or any of the regional conferences?
I haven't.
Ooh.
While I'm not new to the B Corp movement by any means, I'm new in the sense that I have any kind of formal position that allows me to relate to, B Corps and the company and the organization as a whole. So I remember when the Champions Retreat was back in Philadelphia for quite some time. My dad was actually there pretty much year in, year out as winner of the Best for the World 2013, 14, 15. So I got to fanboy from outside of the Sofitel or wherever it was, but never actually make my way in. So this will be a first.
Well, Dan, there's some good news this year. Katie, you want to give a preview of what may be happening this fall or what will be happening this fall?
Yes, we'll manifest it. It will happen. Pre-COVID, and for some B locals since COVID, we used to host these regional events that were meant to be for folks who couldn't travel for Champions Retreat and just an opportunity for us to connect and learn from one another. They're called builds. So we're working on the Bay Area's first build since COVID. We're really excited. It is structured similarly to a conference with some keynote speakers, some panels, networking, and we're hoping to have more information about that in the coming months. But if anyone's interested in speaking or you have a topic or something that you would want to be covered, please reach out to us. We're really open to a lot of co-collaboration opportunities for this.